So today we continue from where we stopped. This will be step 43 or part 43 of our complete application in Spring Boot. So if I try to log in at this point, last time we encrypted our password. So if I try to log in using a username that is existing in the database, you can see that it doesn't let us log in. So Saffron log in, and it doesn't let us log in. The reason is because the password is now encrypted. So even though the password is correct, what we have in the database is unencrypted, and we are going to now encrypt it manually in the database. If you are joining for the first time, please subscribe to my channel by hitting on the subscribe button. And also, if you want this complete application, please just check the playlist in the description box. So if I do select star from user, you can see that we have only one encrypted password because we created this user after we set up encryption in Spring Security. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this password and use it actually to set every other password. So I'm going to use Control-C on my keyboard because right-click actually does not work here to copy. So I'm going to say update. Now I'm writing an update statement to update the user for ID is equal to 1 to 4. So I'm going to say update user and set the password equal to and specify the password in between here. This is the password because all of them are the same encrypted password. And I'm going to set this password where ID is less than 5. So for ID is 1 to 4, right? ID is less than 5. I'm going to just do this. So if I go back to login with Saffron at this time, so if I try to log in with Saffron, it's going to log in with Saffron. You can see the user right here. So today we are going to be working on creating the user profile. Now let me just show you the user profile for the application that I've actually done. So we have this user profile, we have the profile, we have the edit profile, and I have a few other changes that we need to make. This is my picture. Now in case of this, if I go to profile, you see that it actually does not work. So let's just fix up all this. Profile does not work, all right? So the first thing we are going to do is to create the profile controller package, the profile controller file. So I'm going to go to the controllers package and create profile controller. So I'm going to right click and say new and create a class. I'm going to call it profile controller. Remember, today I want you to understand how to work with date and time in Thymeleaf. So there are many things you are going to be doing with this controller file and also with the template, that is the HTML file. But for now, let's just make sure that the link is working. So let's close others. Create the profile controller file and move the profile method from the application controller to the profile controller. So I'm going to go to application controller. Actually there is no profile method here, so let's just write the profile method. So we're going to write the method to return the profile page. So I'm going to say public string profile, and we are going to say return profile. It's as simple as that. Okay, so but we also need to pass the employee details to the profile because we want the profile page. Let me just show you. We want the profile page to display the information about the employee. So we need to pass the employee information across. So we are going to say model, okay? And before we now display the profile, sorry, let me just save everything. Before we return the profile, we are going to add the employee, the current logged in employee to the model, okay? So how do we do that? First, we need to be able to get the logged in username, all right? The logged in username is actually gotten. Let me just quickly check because I have already written this code before now. So let me just check exactly. So if I go to actually application controller, okay, so we have this. Okay, so we have this. So this is the method I'm trying to write. So let me just copy it and put it right in the profile page. So this is a method. Let me just replace it instead of writing it all over again. Now we have, let me just make some space right here. So what is happening here is that we are trying to, we get the principal is the logged in user, and principal.getName gets the username of the logged in user. Now we have employee service that find by username. So we are going to find the employee by its username. So let me just solve this by pressing on my keyboard Ctrl+Shift+O, and then I'm going to save everything. So it says employee service. Okay, so we need to auto-wire the employee service into this controller. So to do that, I'm simply going to say at auto-wired, and I'm going to create a private member variable of employee service type. So I'm going to say private employee service, all right? So at this point, we have employee service as defined by username. So it's telling us that that method is not there. So we simply create it. I can't remember if it's there or not, but let's see. Okay, so we have it is not there. So I'm going to simply take out this and say return. Actually, we are going to return an employee. And this employee is going to be found by username UN. So I'm going to say return employee repository dot, I should have find by username. Okay, so I return employee repository dot find by username, and I specify the username UN. All right. So again, this method seems not to be in the repository. So we are simply going to first, let's just check. Let me create it because it seems not there. So you can see find by username. We've created it immediately at this point. All right, so when this application runs, what is going to happen when you go to the profile page? This is a profile controller. When you go to /profile, we are going to get the logged in username, and then we are going to say employee service find by username, and it's going to find the logged in user, and then it's going to return that employee's details and then send it to the template, and the template is going to now render this employee data on the page. So what we are going to do now, let's now go to the page, because I also want you to learn about working with time. So I'm going to go to profile, and I'm going to save everything. And for now, let me just run this application, and let's see. Let's go to /profile, and let's see what we have. Meanwhile, while we are waiting for it, I'm going to go to index, and I'm going to change the title of the homepage to plate management system. Okay, so this is the homepage. I simply just change the title. So from this homepage, we should be able to visit the employee page. Meanwhile, let's just see that everything is working. Let me just go back to the page. I think this is where we are. Okay, here. So if I go to /profile, because we now have the controller, okay, it's already timed out, so I'm going to say saffron. If we go to profile, we can see that, okay, it's not finding anything. Let's see. So let's go back to the profile controller. So we have /profile, should be able to return profile. And we have profile right here. So it says no mapping for /profile. Okay, let me refresh. So that is very strange. So let's see. So we have our request mapping /profile value is equal to /profile. Okay, so we need to actually annotate the controller file with @controller, right? All right, so that it will be able to serve the pages that has been mapped to template. So I'm going to rerun this application at this point. So once we succeed in displaying says errors, okay, so we have to put in the namespaces, save and run again. I want to quickly talk about date and time at least before I move on to the next part, because I'm running out of time. But for now, you should be able to display the profile page when you go to /profile. So I'm going to refresh this. It's going to ask for login because we actually restarted or relaunched the application. So I'm going to log in, and at this point, it should be able to go to /profile page. Now /profile page displays the profile page perfectly well, but you can see that the username here is not correct, the employee picture is not correct, the name of the employee is not correct. That is what we are going to be doing in this class. But before we actually dive into cleaning up this profile page, let me teach you about date and time. So this is supposed to be the current date and time, and also we have the current state or country acronym. For New York is NY, but I would like to display the country acronym here. For US, so USA, Budapest or Hungary is HUN, Germany is GM or GER or something like that. So different countries, Nigeria is NGA or NGN. Different country with different acronyms. We are going to be talking about this after now. Now let me show you how to display the current date and time here. So what we are going to do, we are going to go to the profile page, and we are going to go to the date and time section where the date and time is displayed, and we are going to try to change it. So Thymeleaf actually can help us display the current dates and time. So first let's locate where the date and time is displayed, and it seems it's somewhere about here. Let's see. So the date and time is displayed. Let's go up, go up, go up. Okay, so should be somewhere here. So we are going to change this. Instead of having static dates and time, we should be able to have dynamic date and time that changes with the whatever region you are, whatever time you have, you already have at that point. So let's first isolate let's first isolate the text we want to change. So here we have this. Alright, so we are going to change this text to dynamic. We are also going to change this time here to dynamic, and also this time here. Actually, it's very easy, and I'm going to copy it and paste so that we don't waste time. If I copy it and paste, then it's going to become clearer. So I'm going to paste this. In this case, we have time. Time is, this is date.format hash date.create now HHMMA. So this A you attach here shows that this is a 12-hour date format, meaning that it shows something like 12:00 AM or PM depending on the time. Now I'm going to also paste the same thing right here, and you see that the changes you need to make here will be very, very minimal. So in this case, we want to display, we have the 12-hour, we have to 24-hour format, but we want to display in 12-hour format. In this case now, we want to display the dates without the time, right? I'm going to say DD MM displays the months. Displays the months. Okay, so MM displays the months in just one character. One character if it's the date is between 0 and 9, and 2 characters if it's above 9. I'm going to say MM, that is for month, and YYYY for year. Displays the year as 2-letter word. Now as two characters. Now if you make this uppercase, it's going to display the year as 4 characters. Now I want the date to be 2 characters, the month to be 2 characters, and the year to be 2 characters. Now it's a bit confusing, but try to adjust it and see what you have. So I'm going to run this application and let's see what we have. Hopefully we should have the date and time displayed correctly for the current date and the current time right now. So this date and time you see in my computer here at the lower right corner is what you are going to see in the web page. So let's go back there. Let's try to run it to see what we have. So I'm going to refresh this page at this point, and it's going to ask for login, and I'm going to stay the same username, and you can see you have 7:15 p.m. 06 February 2020, which is today's date. You have 7:15. Now, if you want it to be 24-hour format, you can also change the day, the time to, let's go back there. Let's go back to the page. If you want it to be 24-hour format like what I have on my system, you can change this to HH. So 24-hour format is going to be this, and then you can remove this. All right, but that is not what we want. So hopefully this is a code. Copy it down, take note of it. To display date and time, you use this code and you simply change up the format. This is the only place you are going to be playing around so that you have it displayed in any way you like. I'm going to stop here, and then in the next part we are going to now see how we can do a little more cleanup on this page. Let me display the page again. To display the logged in user details, because this is not the logged in user as you can see. And we are also going to see how we can be able to edit, upload a new photo, and display the dynamic content. And also make the link working, because if I go my profile, it doesn't work. So meanwhile, if I go back to the home page, you can see that the logged in user is somebody else. You can see Saffron right here is the logged in user, but what we have there is Jennifer Smith, and also the link does not work. So we are going to be cleaning up more this profile page in the next part. I'm going to be stopping here. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have challenges, do let me know. I'm going to help you out. And if you miss out something, go back to the first part. You have all the pieces of code. You have my website open for you to follow the step-by-step in case you miss something. I remain kind and genuine, and I'm always there for you.